Hey you guys, today I want to talk about sharing oil. This is actually, we just did a video a few minutes ago when I started talking about sharing oil, so then I thought, I'm just going to wrap that up and post another one up here real quick and get this done. But this is going to be super short. I really want to talk about sharing. I have so many people and I meet so many people, and you've probably heard me, touch on this a little bit in some other videos, but people say to me all the time, I'm embarrassed to talk to someone, or I don't want to be salesy, or I don't want to be pushy, or I don't want to be whatever. Okay, here's what I want you to think about, all right? Where would you be today if no one had ever shared essential oil with you? What would your life look like? Because I talk to lots of people every day who are off medications, who are less stressed, who are having more energy, who are just, overall feeling better. Their kids are sleeping better. They're getting some sleep. Their digestive situations have, improved. All kinds of stuff. So if that's you and you feel better because you're using essential oils, then why wouldn't you share that with somebody? Why wouldn't you share that? This is what I say to my team all the time. If you are not sharing, you are selfish. And I know maybe that seems harsh, but I absolutely believe that to be true. Because you have got one of the greatest gifts that anyone has ever given you. And someone cared about you enough one day to tell you about essential oils. And they helped you, they educated you, they brought you down that path. And now you use them and you love them and you've had a life change. So why wouldn't you want that for someone else? Like, I want that for strangers. I want that for every person I meet. I want this for them, because there's not a single person. It doesn't matter if they're in the womb, literally, if they're in the womb and people are using them during their pregnancy, for support, all the way until their deathbed, literally taking their last breaths. If a person is breathing, there is an oil for them and there's a way to support them, because doesn't everybody sometime have some digestive problems or some pain in their head or some, situations of breathing, or maybe they get a rash or a sunburn, or, those are the minor things. So everybody has those problems. You don't have to be a person who's super sick and has chronic illness to get on board with this, but it's something to support our family and support ourselves in everyday life that is cost effective and works with no side effects. So who doesn't want that? I think everybody wants that. And sometimes people are super afraid of being rejected, but you know what? They're not rejecting you. If you talk to someone about oils and they say, no, I'm not interested, that's okay. It has nothing to do with you. It just means that's not the place they are in their life right now. I have people that, I talked to 3 years ago who enroll. I enrolled somebody just a few weeks ago that I've talked to for 3 years. So they come along in their own time, and that's okay. It's just like sharing Jesus. We share with our lifestyle. So if you talk to someone, for example, let's talk about witnessing for Christ for a minute. If you talk to someone and you present the gospel to somebody and they reject that, they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting God. Okay, so you can't take that personally, but you've planted a seed. So what happens, 2 months, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, maybe, who knows, 40 years. We don't know what God does with that. It's just our job to plant the seed. And it's the same thing with essential oils. Now, of course, I'm not comparing sharing essential oils with sharing the gospel. Certainly there's, you have to have priorities, but essential oils are changing people's lives every single day. Every day, people's lives are changed. There is literally not one single day of my life, 7 days a week, that I don't get a message or a phone call from somebody saying, thank you. This has changed my life. Okay? So be that person that brings that light to somebody, brings that wellness to somebody, brings that health to somebody. And even in terms of the financial opportunity, let's touch on that for a second, because people are always afraid to talk about money. And sometimes people say, oh, Lisa, you're too focused on the business. No, I'm not. I'm focused on the business when I'm talking about business. I'm focused on the product when I'm sharing and helping people. And I help people with the product all over the world, all the time, that will never impact me financially ever with $1. That's okay too, because I am about bringing wellness to the world. That is my mission, my message. That's the place that God has put me. I want to bring wellness to people, whether they're on my team or not. So I help everybody. So it's not that I'm focused on business, but when I'm talking about business, yes, then that's my focus. I'm talking about business. So why are you afraid to share that? Okay, I think a lot of times people I meet people all the time who don't know there's an income opportunity. They're using oils, maybe they've been using oils for a couple of years. They don't even know there's an income opportunity. How much could you change a person's life if they could earn enough money just to pay for their oil? Or what if they could earn enough money to make their car payment? Or what if they could earn a little bit more money to supplement their income, and then mom can stay home instead of working that part-time job? Or what if she could actually replace her job? Then what happens if dad replaces his job? Both parents are home with the kids. how many different ways can you change somebody's life by impacting them financially? There's nothing embarrassing about that. We live in a hard economy. Seriously. Now, granted, things are looking up lately, but we have been in a hard economy for a lot of years, and it's taking 2 incomes to meet just literally to meet the bare essentials. Okay, and that's hard. We got everybody, is on, and this is not a judgment. I'm not saying that at all. But we've got people on WIC, we got people on food stamps, we got people on, down at community services all the time, and they literally need these services to get by. So what would happen if you share essential oils with them, change their lives, in that realm of their health, but then what would happen if you change their life financially? What would happen? I mean, can you imagine? The thing about making a lot of money with doTerra, and I seriously, I'm not afraid to talk about this. Like, I have aspirations, but you know what? My husband and I give away a lot of money, even at the place where we're at, and we certainly don't make a ton of money we make a lot of money with doTerra, but not like, not like a presidential diamond makes. So we don't have like millions of dollars to give away, but we give away a lot of money. If my husband goes to a restaurant and we have a little tired pregnant waitress, he'll give her a $50 tip on a $20 lunch. So if you can do those kind of things, how good does that feel? How good does it feel if you have a friend who gets into a financial situation and can't make their house payment and you can help them? Or if somebody needs a medication, you can help them. Or if someone can't buy groceries and you can help them. I literally was at Walmart a few weeks ago. I was walking to the car, it was 11:30 at night, taking my stuff to the car, and this kid pulled up in a car beside me and he hollered out and he said, "Hey lady, can you help me?" And I said, "Well, what's wrong?" And he said, "Well, our family doesn't have any food. I need some groceries." And so, God love him, he just gave me this little list. And there wasn't 6 things on this list. He had like lunch meat, bread, dog food, milk, and maybe cereal. Just the bare basic things. And I said, "Well, give me your list and I'm going to get you some groceries." So I had already started, heading through. So I'm throwing in like, spaghetti, and I'm just loading the cart up. And he came in, and sweetest little thing, like, he was just so sweet. He walked through the grocery store with me, and like I said, "Well, do you guys need some juice?" So he's looking at like all the generic juices and trying to figure out what's the least expensive thing, which is okay because I'm a bargain shopper. If you know me, like, I am a bargain shopper. I'm a tightwad, and that's okay. But I just appreciated that he wasn't trying to scam me or, take me in there for a filet mignon. They just really needed some basic stuff. So we loaded up the grocery cart for them, and he was so, so grateful. He's called me 2 or 3 times since then. His mom has called me. It was just a medical situation where they just literally didn't have any money. So how good did that feel for me to be able to help them and support them whenever they couldn't have done it on their own? It was 11:30 at night. They hadn't eaten. So those are the kind of things you can do if you're making extra money. So it's not about, do we need, $20,000 a month to live on? No, nobody needs that much money. Do you need $100,000 a month to live on? No, don't need that much money either. But what can you do for other people who do need things? How much can you impact the world if you're making more money? So don't be embarrassed and afraid of that. I'm telling you, if you lined up 10 people in your living room and you asked all 10 people, how many of you would like to make $200 extra a month? I'll guarantee you every single person is going to raise their hand. Now, is every person going to get on board with that and actually jump in and try to do that? No, because some people have a backstory. Some people are just afraid of it. Some people have a stigma of it. Some people don't have enough confidence to do it. There's a backstory for people, but I'll tell you that every single person would want to have a few $100s extra a month, so why not ask them? Then let them make the choice. It's not your job to make a decision for them. It's only your job to present the information, just like it's your job to present the information about essential oils. See how far I got off track already? Let's go back to essential oils for a minute. Your job is to present the information. Your job is to share. If you went to a restaurant that you loved, you would talk all about it and you wouldn't think you were being salesy. If you went to maybe a movie that you loved and you told all your friends about it, you would not think you were being salesy and pushy. You would be excited, enthusiastic, and happy to share something that you loved with your friends and family. It's the same thing with essential oil. You're not being pushy or salesy. Here's an example I always use with my team. If I went into Sears and I wanted to buy a mattress, and I know Sears is going, so let's say a mattress store. I wanted to buy a mattress. And some salesman walks up to me and he says, "Hey, can I help you?" And I said, "Well, I'm here to look at mattresses." And he turns around and walks off. Like, that's it. He just walks off. And then another salesman comes up and he says, "Do you need some help?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm here to look at mattresses. We need a mattress." So he starts asking me questions. Do you like it firm? Do you like it soft? Do you have back pain? What size do you need? What's your bedroom like? Have you tried some mattresses? And then I get on some mattresses and try some mattresses and figure out which mattress is the very best fit for me. Okay, now what did he just do? He wasn't salesy or pushy. He helped to fill my need. He helped me figure out what I needed. So do I think he's salesy and pushy? Do I think he was rude? No. I'm excited that he came up and helped me. I'm excited that he took the time and cared about me personally enough to know what kind of mattress did I really need. Okay, so that's the person you need to be. Figure out what your people need and then help them with that. Okay, it's not being salesy and pushy. You're bringing a gift to them. You have the best thing that you could offer them. So why would you hold that and keep that to yourself? That doesn't even make sense. I know many of you have probably seen the example of having the cookie, and what that's about is just that I have the cookie and I can share it and you can take it or leave it. You know, it doesn't affect me. I still have the cookie. So if someone rejects you, don't take that personally. It just means they're not at that place in their life. And then don't be afraid. Now, let me back up here, okay? Because I don't want you to present oil to somebody and then wrap that up and then say, okay, now if you spend 100 PV a month and you want to make some money and you can do this and that and blah, 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 and scare them off, okay? It doesn't work like that. Enroll them. Let them use their oils. Educate them on their oils. Help them have a belief system. Help them develop that where they love these oils so much that they're talking to their friends and family. And then as that happens, sometimes it'll happen in a day. I literally enrolled somebody last week and she contacted me the next day and she said, hey, I talked to these couple of people and they're really interested in oil. What can we do about that? So, you know, and then sometimes it's months down the road. I think at one point I read that doTerra said the average time is like 6 to 8 months before a person expressed an interest in that. That's probably about right, or it could be 2 years or 3 years, but it doesn't matter. Get the belief system going in the oil and then present the opportunity to them. When you see them shopping regularly and you see them making larger orders and they're talking about their friends and family, there is nothing embarrassing about approaching them. And I always, in every class, as I close up, when I use the prize drawing slip, there's 3 places I walk through it literally with them and talk through the prize drawing slip. So I ask them, you know, check this box if you are interested in learning more about oil. Check this box if you're interested in hosting a class. And then we expound on that a little bit. And then I'll say, if you could see yourself doing what I'm doing and you are really interested in helping people and bringing wellness to them, check this 3rd box and we'll talk about this after the class because there is an income opportunity if that's something that's of interest to you. So that's all I have to say about it. Okay, I planted a seed and now they'll think about that. But it will sit back there and just wait until the time comes right for them. And that doesn't mean you can't, have the conversation. You don't have to wait for them to come to you 3 months later or 6 months later. When you see them again, you see those key things. They're shopping regularly, they're talking, they're hosting classes. Then approach them again, see what they want to do. But don't hold this to yourself, guys. We can't join and partner with a company and say we want to change the world and then not bring it to the world. Okay, we can't hoard it to ourselves. We absolutely have to share this, whether it's the product or the income opportunity, and hopefully it's both. You need to share with people. Just don't be embarrassed about it. Bring these gifts to the people that you love and care about. Bring them to strangers. I say your friends and family, but for heaven's sake, I've been known to, people in the drive-thru at Culver's, somebody that came and sealed my ductwork at my house, nurses, doctors, when I go to appointments. Like, I've talked to everybody everywhere because everybody's got a problem, right? So be that problem solver. That's my advice. Get out there and share it. Don't be afraid and be the problem solver. Thank you, guys. We'll talk to you next week.